Hey Stampin' friends, welcome to the Joy of Stamping with Rachel. I'm Rachel Kuhn and it's Fun Fold Friday. Today we're making a fun fold card using the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set and the In Good Taste DSP. Go ahead and hold real quick while I flip and we'll get stamping. Hold on. Okay, hopefully you guys can see that. All right. I feel like it might be a little blurry. Hopefully we're okay. All right, well, welcome today. We have this really fun fold card, and I'm using the Good Morning Magnolia stamp set. It's a 2K set because the stamp images are huge, and we are using the thanks from it and also this saying right here, not only for what you do, but for being someone so special. The card that we have is awesome because it opens up like this. Isn't that fun? And it uses the DSP right here for our fun fold. Let me set that aside and we'll go ahead and get started. The first thing I need to do is stamp. So I'm going to use my piece that I've cut out already right here and my Night of Navy. And we'll stamp the thanks as far as I can and in the center. Right there. Make sure someone comments today if you're here on the live and one of you will win today's card. I see I have a couple watchers. Thanks for joining. So you stamped that shape there, and next we need to stamp our centerpiece. I will have all of these measurements on my blog, and I'll post those later, just in case you're wondering what they are. All right, this is a bigger image, so I have a big block. I'm going to ink it up, and I'm going to do just about the center, because I want my flap to fold over it. All right, awesome. So our stamping is done. The next thing for this card then would be our flower. So I've used the die cuts and I've cut out 2 of each of the petals of these ones, 2 of the black centers, 2 leaves, and 2 of the yellow centers. I have already gone ahead and I don't know if you can see it, I've inked up the edges just a little bit with our smoky slate and a sponge. After you've inked up your edges, what you want to do is take your bone folder and just kind of curl just a little bit by flipping over your petal and using your thumb and your bone folder to pull it through, just like that. And we'll do that to all of our petals. This is a fun set that's been in the catalog for a little while, and I feel like it just hasn't gotten enough love recently. So I brought it back out and decided to make this fun fold with it today. There we go. Upside down, so they're just curling it just a little bit. I do a little bit with our center sprigs as well. These ones you can ink up with the Daffodil Delight, or you can even use that basic gray. And these ones you have to be careful with because they will break. They're a little bit more fragile. Just to get those going a little bit there. And next we just need to assemble this flower. The best way that I've found is to use glue dots to do our flowers, and you start with your bottom and work your way up. So you put one on the bottom, and then we're going to just layer it so they're off-centered and fill in those spaces. Do another one on the bottom, and again we're just going to go in the window spots of that one. And another, so that's 2 of each of those white ones. And we'll get our yellows going. I'm going to attach these ones together first, and then we'll attach it to the big part as well. See, glue dots just make it super fast. There's no dry time. You could use liquid glue, but you might have to wait in between for them to dry. I'll get that in our center there. And then if you wanted to, you can even add another embellishment to this flower, a rhinestone or a beautiful embellishment. It's totally up to you. We're going to take our leaves and attach those as well. First, we'll attach them together like that, kind of an angle, and then we'll attach them to our flower. And this one, I'm just gonna see, let's put them probably right there. Then we're gonna set this aside and get our ink out of our way, because I'm gonna bring in our trimmer. This is probably the trickiest part of this card, but also the part that makes it really fun. Let me show you this piece of paper here. So here is the paper that, as an example of how we're gonna score it. And we'll do this with our DSP. I'm gonna give you some quick measurements, and then I'll show you how to do it on the trimmer. So this is a 3 by 4, and you're going to want to score it 2 inches down on the three side, and then you're going to go over to the top where it's the 4 inches across, go to 2 inches in, and we're going to use a pencil to mark it. And then we're going to turn it in our trimmer, and we're going to score it from that score line to our mark at the top. Let me show you. All right, here's our paper trimmer. Make sure I can get it in view. And here's my DSP. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to go ahead and line it up at our 2 inch. And make sure I'm using my scoring blade, which is my light gray one. And we're going to score it at the 2 inch or 1 inch, depending on which way you have it. Then I'm going to turn this, and I'm going to measure. So I'm going to go right here to our 2 inch. I'm going to take my pencil, and I'm going to go right here in that spot and just mark it. And then I'm going to rotate this so I can see where my tip is here and where my score is down here. Just like so. And it's kind of tricky to see on the DSP, so I apologize if you can't see it much on camera. And I'll go and score that, and then I'll open it up and I'll do the other side. And we just line up here at the bottom to our groove right there and line it up at the top and take our score and score it down. Awesome. Next, we'll move our trimmer out of the way. We're going to take these, and you can kind of see the images there, and we're going to fold them in to make a triangle, and we're going to glue that part down. So we're going to take either our liquid glue would work just fine, and we have 2 of these. So we'll squish that down, squish that one down. I have the same thing with this one. I'll take my bone folder so it's a little bit more crisp. Just like that, and then I'll add our glue it in, and like I said, it doesn't have to be too much, just like that. Next though, we need to get this part right here folded and crease it like that. And same for this one. And then we're going to grab our Whisper White that we stamped on earlier, and we're going to attach that to our DSP. Make sure I'm getting that line nicely. All right. This measured at 4 inches here, so that matches our 4 inches on this side. And we're going to line it up like that and glue it on. I like to use a little bit heavier glue for this one because it is a bending or a moving part of a card. So I'm using our Stampin' Still Plus, and I'll just do a quick strip. There we go. Right there. And we'll line it up so it's on that hinge and press down. And same for this one. We'll use our Stampin' Still Plus. And oops, so it's super sticky. Make sure you line it up and then press down. Just like that. Okay, then we attach that to our card base, which is the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And you can use whatever adhesive you want for this part. Whatever you have that you like is handy. I use that same Still Plus, and I make sure I put it down right where I want it the first time. There we go. All right, so all we have to do now is layer these stitch nested label dies, and these ones I can use just liquid glue. We'll put those ones like that. And you want to get your corners or your tips on those ones lined up. It's probably good that I use that liquid glue. We'll do the same for the one that we stamped the thanks on. Make sure you guys are commenting, say hi, or let me know you're here. That way you might be the lucky winner of this fun card. All right, next we're going to attach our flower, and I like to use a dimensional. It gives it a little bit of pop, and it helps it lay nicely. So I'm going to put this one right about there it looks. I don't want to cover my thanks too much. Like that. And I'll lay that one there. Next, we need to put some heavy-duty adhesive on the back here. Sorry, it shook you there. I used this one last time, and I want to show you what happened. Let's see. Actually, I might use, let's use some tear tape. So I created a paper Band-Aid the last time I made this card, and I'll show you how. So we're going to put some tape here. I'll peel it off. You want this tape to be a little bit stronger because, like I said, this is a moving piece, and we don't want it to detach. So this tear tape is stronger. So I can get that backing off. That's how strong it is. All right, there's one backing off, and let's get one more. This is where nails come in handy, and if you don't have nails, you can always use the Take-A-Pick sharp end side. Okay, so I'm then going to line it up on this part right here and try to get it mostly centered. And I'll lay that down, and then let's flip it over. Ooh, I did pretty good on this one. Look at that. Let me show you my other one real quick and show you my paper Band-Aid. So this one I had used, and it ran it over with too much of the adhesive. And so I just cut off a little piece of paper and covered up where I had that extra adhesive. You see that there? And it just blends in just right. You would have never known unless I told you. All right, you guys, that's it for this fun fold card today. You could totally embellish it more if you wanted to with some rhinestones, but it looks pretty fantastic. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have a wonderful weekend, and happy stamping, everyone. Bye.